I think we won't be able to get out of it.
But even in his arrest, the senator maintained he has been quoted out of context, saying he stands by his remark.
Anybody that really understands that that was a UNDA rally, and what I meant was that those people that are not followers of UNDA should be rejected by the Washington issue voters. That's what I meant. I am not a warlord. I am not a warmonger. You know, I'm peace-loving and I preach peace. I have no record for preaching violence.
Actually, there was nothing that Senator Ituri said that warranted what is happening to him.
The senator's arrest followed an outcry by a number of leaders who say that such remarks should not be taken lightly, considering the history of this country.
I want to reiterate that we need to encourage peaceful coexistence in this country.
And we want to urge law enforcement agencies that there are enough laws on their table that they can use to prosecute this matter.
This is a matter that needs to be addressed because it is something that we cannot allow to fester.
Mimi nataka nitoe mwito kwa wanasiasa wa milengo yote. Haina maana kabisa either kuincite watu ama kutusi watu.
Kenya, we are one. We are a republic. We are a nation. And leaders must not divide us. We must not allow leaders to divide us.
Kwa hivyo watu wajihadhari sana venye watakuwa akiongea, na mtu akisimama lazima atafute kura zake, lakini si atafute kura zake akitukana yule mwingine. Niwakumbushe kwamba mtu achague mtu mwenye anataka, asiambiwe. This is the time to choose.
On Saturday, the DPP directed the Inspector General of Police to institute a probe on the alleged utterance, which he said could incite feelings of contempt, hatred, hostility, violence or discrimination, and submit the resultant investigation file on or before the 14th of this month. Now let's stay on that political note. Orange Democratic Movement leader Raila Odinga has cautioned political leaders against dividing Kenyans along ethnic lines. Raila, who faulted Saturday's utterances by Meru Senator Mithika Linturi during Deputy President William Ruto's rally at Eldoret, said every Kenyan should feel safe and free in any part of the country. Nancy Okware now reports.
Azimio.
ODM leader Raila Odinga was at ACK St. John Church, Mwimoto, Kabete constituency, Kiambu County, where he attended a church service in memory of the wives of freedom fighters. It's here where the ODM leader took issue with the alleged inflammatory remarks made by Meru Senator Mithika Linturi during a rally at Eldoret, saying that they could ignite feelings of contempt and fear among a section of Kenyans.
Watu wamewawa huko, watu waliwawa, wengine walikuwa naitwa kwekwe, hata kwekwe tutang'oa, wengine wanasema ni madoadoa, utaki kuona. Ukisikia lugha hiyo ukirudi tena kama jana, tunasema hapana.
Odinga saying that every Kenyan should feel safe to live in any part of the country, regardless of race, tribe or religion.
Hate speech. Ati Wahindi ni wa Kenya, Warabu ni wa Kenya, Wazungu ni wa Kenya, Wakikuyu ni wa Kenya, Wajaluo ni wa Kenya, Wakalenjin ni wa Kenya, Wakamba kila mmoja. Tunataka heshimu na kupenda Wakenya wote, na kila Mkenya anaweza kuishi upande yote katika taifa letu bila kutafuta ruhusa kwa mtu mwingine.
He further underscored the need to ensure that those internally displaced are resettled to their rightful land, even as he condemned violence post-elections.
IDPs, hatutaki kuona vitu kama hiyo. Tutahakikisha kwamba watu wamerudishwa kwa mashamba yao pale ambayo walikuwa wametumia.
The former premier at the same time said Nyayo House torture chambers should be converted into a museum to honor and remember freedom fighters. Nancy Okware, Sunday Express.
Now, Deputy President William Ruto says it is mere political propaganda talks that deep state or few individuals will decide the next president of Kenya. Ruto, who spoke at Kuria East and West sub-counties in Migori County, said the mandate to elect leaders lies solely with Kenyans and nobody will change that.
Deputy President William Ruto on Sunday took his hustler campaign to Kuria East and West sub-counties, barely 2 months after a grand tour of Migori County. The DP said he is committed to fulfilling his campaign promises to the Kuria community, including the creation of the Kuria County. Ruto reiterated that it is only Kenyans who can decide who will win the election come August.
Kabla hujaenda kupiga kura, fikiria kwenda piga kura mahali ambapo mtoto wako baada ya kura atapata ajira. Kwenda piga kura mahali ambapo biashara yako itashughulikiwa. Kwenda piga kura mahali ambapo kilimo yako itapata usaidizi wa serikali, uweke pesa kwa mfuko na chakula mezani.
He said when elected, he will allocate 100 billion shillings for youth employment and 50 billion shillings for loans for scale traders.
Mwaka huu tunaweka bilioni 50 pesa ya serikali kwa biashara ya hawa watu wa chini hawa, kina mama boga na bodaboda. Pesa ya serikali ndio tuinue biashara ya kila mtu na tutoe hawa wa chini kwa Shylock, tuwatoe kwa Fuliza, tuwatoe kwa CRB, kila mtu asimame afanye biashara yake, tutengeneze Kenya yenye iko na usawa.
Legislators allied to the DP took issue with the arrest of Senator Mithika Linturi, claiming his statement was misinterpreted to suit a political narrative.
Sisi tukiwa pale Eldoret, tuliambia Wakenya, kila mtu mpaka Linturi, tuliambia Wakenya wakati tunaenda uchaguzi, tunataka uchaguzi wa UDA kutoka juu mpaka chini. Hata Linturi alisema namna hiyo. Tunataka president UDA, tunataka governor UDA, tunataka MP UDA, tunataka MCA UDA. Wale ambao wanasema ya kwamba ni ukabila tuna spread, hiyo sio agenda yetu.
Our political competitors should desist from using the police. When we make a remark, we are not inciting. What we are saying, come 9th of August 2022, we are going to vote 6 peace for UDA.
Sisi tunataka Kenya moja ambayo kila mtu ako ndani yake. The law must always apply equally to all the people of Kenya. Jana nilikuwa kule Eldoret na nikakaa kwa mkutano, na kila mtu ambaye aliamuka hapo aliongea maneno yake ya kisiasa na maneno ambayo ni ya kuleta Wakenya pamoja.
They alleged such threats are meant to demoralize them at the Senate as the political party's amendment bill heads there next week.
Moving on, One Kenya Alliance principals Musalia Mudavadi and Kalonzo Musyoka have called for sobriety among politicians as the country enters the electioneering period. ANC leader Musalia Mudavadi, while attending a church service at Redeemed Gospel Church, Liberty Center in Nairobi, urged the church to remain steadfast in calling out leaders sowing discord among Kenyans. Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka similarly spoke on peaceful campaigns devoid of hate speech at AIC Church Ziwani in Nairobi.
One Kenya Alliance principals Musalia Mudavadi and Kalonzo Musyoka separately attended church services in Nairobi, where 2022 succession politics was their main agenda. At AIC Ziwani Church, Kalonzo Musyoka challenged the clergy to step up and guide the nation during the forthcoming transition period. Kalonzo and his allies criticizing politicians who are making hate speeches during campaigns, saying peace must be safeguarded.
Na mimi naomba kitu moja, mtuombee sana, because we don't want leaders wale ambao wanaeneza fitina, kama vile tuliona Linturi jana akiongea. Hiyo si maongeo mazuri kwa kiongozi. Tunataka peaceful election, tukue na amani.
Mtuombee sana aswa watu wa Wiper na Oka in these coming elections, especially the presidential seat. Mungu atupe mtu ambaye anaweza kumaliza corruption katika nchi yetu ya Kenya.
I'm seeing war drums again. That's why this talk about madoadoa reminds people of Kiambaa Church. Mama na mtoto wanatupwa. That is not the country we really want to lead. In my view, and I challenge you as I must challenge myself, unless we repent over Kiambaa. Do you know there are people still sitting on other people's land? And we pretend everything is okay.
Similar sentiments were made at Redeemed Gospel Church Liberty Center in Nairobi, where Musalia Mudavadi and his allies urged the church to play an active role in shaping the politics of the country and guiding the people in choosing the right leaders.
Let us have a country where the true values as enshrined in the Bill of Rights of our country shall be there, so that the spirit of the yokes that are making it difficult for people to associate.
Remember that this country is the only country we have. There is no Kenya B. That we must be careful about our statements and our sentiments. That we must not get excited when it comes to addressing issues. That we must keep our country together.
And we want to condemn some talks that are going on. I heard some people, I think specifically Mheshimiwa Linturi, talking about madowadowas. That is a terrible language coming from a leader. Our constitution allows us to work, to stay and live anywhere in the Republic of Kenya.
Mudavadi at the same time hit out at security chiefs who are involved in campaigns of some presidential aspirants as security threats continue to hit the country.
We want to make it clear to those in charge of the security instruments of our country, please do not get obsessed with the succession game. Succession shall be through the ballot. Please give Kenyans security and guarantee them security.
Gesho Kiwashira, Sunday Express.
Thank you, Kevin, for that report. Now, a section of leaders from Bomet County has called for tolerance ahead of the planned tour by Deputy President William Ruto this Monday. Their plea coming after a section of youths disrupted a press conference organized by County Governor and other elected leaders in preparation for the DP's visit. This even as Narok North, Member of Parliament Moitalel Olekenta called on the government to fast-track the issuance of national identity cards to ensure that no eligible Kenyan is locked out of the upcoming voter registration exercise mid this month. Tension remains high in Bomet County after a section of youth disrupted a press conference that was convened by Governor Hilary Barchok and a section of elected leaders in preparation for Deputy President William Ruto's tour of the region on Monday. Leaders from the county are now calling for tolerance, urging residents not to allow their divergent political ideologies to degenerate into chaos.
This is a UDA affair, and if you are planning to come, of course, being a resident of Bomet, you are also welcome. But behave. We don't want to be dictated in terms of what we want in terms of the program, who should speak and who should not speak.
Those members of parliament from other counties who are used to making inflammatory statements are simply not welcome in Bomet. We want them to understand that very clearly. Inflammatory statements are not welcome. Coming to abuse other political parties is not welcome.
I know there have been some issues here and there, but again, as Bomet County residents, we really want and we make sure that we show that maturity in terms of welcoming all the visitors. There is no violence. Maybe there could be some few individuals, but I thought it is something really which really we should be able to talk about.
Meanwhile, Narok North Member of Parliament Moitalel Ole Kenta has called for a fast-tracking of the issuance of national identity cards to eligible Kenyans to enable them register as voters in the upcoming mass voter registration exercise. Kenta, who recently launched his Narok County gubernatorial bid, claimed that the current regime has failed the residents in terms of development.
Ngataka tunai atoke mara moja ajitokeze. Aja awaambie jamii ya Masai wa Narok pali anapitisha mali yetu ya Mara, mali yetu ya ngano, mali yetu ya bali, mali yetu ya viazi, mali yetu ya ng'ombe yetu kwa sasa, na tuambie ile pesa babilioni ya serikali ambayo inakuja na tuni chochote inaenda wapi?
And Murang'a woman representative Sabina Chege has dismissed claims that she has ditched the ruling party Jubilee and joined Chama cha Kazi, terming the claims propaganda.
Na kama Jubilee nienda wapi? Jubilee iko tu, lakini tumeng'ang'ana nayo kwa miaka mingi. Na tunangojea ni vile wale wako kule juu wametuweka sana. So mimi bado niko Azimio. Nitaamua na nitafanya announcement. Wale wanataka kunifanyia wacha waendelee. Hiyo ni publicity, wananisaidia sana.
All right, and nominated Senator Gertrude Musuruve wants the government to establish rescue homes for destitute children in every constituency to take care of abandoned children. Musuruve, who was speaking in Lugari, said that homes within the community setting will enable the children to be easily reintegrated back into the society. The ODM-nominated senator said it was unfortunate that thousands of destitute children have been abandoned in the community.
It is the appalling state these children live in that has captured the attention of nominated Senator Gertrude Musuruve. Theirs is a life of squalor and hand-to-mouth, poverty and neglect, redefining every bit of their homestead in Mwamba village, Lugari, yet all in society watch as these children waste away.
Na niliarifiwa ya kwamba kuna jamii ya walemavu wanaishi kwa barabara na hawana namna, hawana mbele, hawana nyuma. Kwa hiyo mimi kama kiongozi niliamua kuja kutembelea jamii hii ili niweze kujua haswa matakwa yao ni yapi.
Musuruve calling on the government to set up special homes in every constituency to cater for such children whose only crimes is to be born in their situation.
Kwamba serikali kupya ijiunge na mimi ili tuone vile tunaweza kusaidia walemavu na wanyonge katika Lugari.
The senator, promising to take care of the abandoned children, realized their dreams, saying every Kenyan child should be given an opportunity to succeed in life.
Lugari hakuna rescue centers. Kwa hivyo watu wakipata mahangaiko, hakuna mtu wa kuwa rescue, hakuna mtu wa kuwashika mikono.
The nominated senator, who has set her eye on Lugari constituency parliamentary seat, also visited disabled families in the area, promising that if elected she will champion for the rights of the underprivileged get their equal share of the national cake.
Kuna wengi pia hawapati the 5% representation, lakini mimi nataka kusema kama mjumbe ya kwamba nataka watu wa Lugari wanipatie nguvu ya kuwa mtetezi wao ili niweze kuona ya kwamba hata hao walemavu hapa wameweza kupata haki yao.
Now, moving on, the clergy has condemned the current wave of political intolerance in the country, allegedly fueled by a section of politicians. The men of cloth cautioned the political class against inflammatory utterances which they said can easily destabilize the country's peaceful coexistence as we head into the electioneering period. The clergy has subsequently urged Kenyans to be each other's keeper.
The second Sunday of 2022, churches across the city converge for the Sunday service. Here, the clergy is unhappy with what they call careless utterances being made by politicians as the August election draws near.
Na tunajua Rift Valley kuna matamshi kama hayo ambao yalisungumzwa, na wakati kulisungumzwa maneno kama haya, nchi yetu ya Kenya ikawaka moto 2007-2008.
Do not allow any politicians to divide you. And I want also to encourage the church to continue to pray for our nation, to continue to pray for our leaders, and even those that are fighting for leadership. Because at the end of the day, we will not allow, through prayer, any turmoil to be in our nation.
At the Stewards Pentecostal Revival Church, the bishop in charge urging church members to make wise decisions on leaders and sieve the wheat from the chaff.
Those who fear the Lord, they will avoid extreme, to go to an extreme ya kudivide our nation into tribal grouping. As a church, we are together.
The men of God are calling on the National Cohesion and Integration Commission to apprehend all those spearheading hate speech.
NCIC is an independent body, na tugewaomba NCIC musitumike na wanasiasa.
At the Shelter of Love Church, the pastor calling on the Director of Criminal Investigation to work closely with NCIC in shunning rogue leaders who want to take the country back to post-election violence.
As a politician, you need to understand that if there be any form of bloodshed, it will be accountable to you. Because even the word of God says that if any man loses his blood in the hand of another man, that man's blood will be in the hand of the person who killed him. So I would want to urge all the politicians, don't look for votes by using tribalism. Look for votes using the policies that you are going to sell to the nation.
Ruth Wamboi for Sunday Express.
Thank you, Ruth Wamboi, for that report. And that report is taking us to our first break on Sunday Express. Oyando Weekly from Kisii County, thank you for watching tonight. Livingstone Alushula, thank you for your loyalty. Alice Nasambu, Dickens Omolo, Tsuma Randu, and Rina Karanja, Maundu Nzioki. Some of our viewers streaming live on Facebook at KBC Channel 1 News. That's where you find us on Facebook. But continue also engaging us on social media. Use the hashtag Prime Edition. As we take a break, if you haven't joined us on social media, do that. We'll be coming back in just a bit with much more.
For another machine, swipe my card. Kama hiyo machine imezeka, get another one. Hatuwezi lala njaa. Palipo na nyota, watu hawezi kulala njaa.
We are not broke.
So nini mbaya? Mbona hatuna pesa?
Utaingia na wapi? Labda tumia mazingaombwe.
Na ukiamka utafurahi sana mwanangu. Njoo Ndibili, njoo Ndibili.
Log on to the KBC website at www.kbc.co.ke to get the latest breaking news, entertainment, sports, politics, lifestyle or business trends from Kenya and around the world. Never miss new episodes from your favorite TV shows, reruns and movies. Just stream online or watch live on your YouTube channel at KBC Channel 1 TV shows. For the day's biggest stories, trustworthy news and family entertainment, log on to KBC Channel 1. Watch what you want anytime, anywhere.
Welcome back, and thank you for keeping us company. Now moving on into the second part, detectives in Murang'a County have arrested a 41-year-old man who is alleged to have killed his 16-year-old daughter, a Form 1 student at Sabasaba Secondary School. The teenager is said to have been sent away from school on Wednesday this week over school fee arrears, only for his father to find her at home in bed with her boyfriend, who managed to escape. Residents of Sabasaba area of Murang'a County are still in shock following the death of a 16-year-old girl alleged to have been beaten to death by her father. The girl, who is a student at Sabasaba Secondary School, is said to have been sent home from school over fee arrears, only for his father to find her at home in bed with her boyfriend, who escaped. But the girl did not live to narrate the impact of her father's wrath. The suspect is said to have beaten the young girl to death, then hid her body on Friday inside a culvert along Kenol Sabasaba Road, a few meters from their home, and later removed the body and placed it along the road before it was discovered by passers-by.
Nilikuwa naenda Sabani, kupitia hapa kwa barabara nikapata msichana wa rafiki yangu ameuawa. Mpaka nikastuka sana, nikauliza kwani hii shida imetoka wapi? Na ni nini imefanya mtoto auliwe namna hii? Nini inaendelea Sabasaba? Juu mtoto ni mtoto wa shule, mamake amempeleka hii mwaka form 1, ni mtoto tu mdogo. Hata tumestuka sana, tunauliza ni nini baya.
Kwa bagila msichana huyu alikuwa nayo, inaonekana mtoto alikuwa ametoka shule, ako na vitabu ya hiyo shule Sabasaba Secondary School, ako na uniform kwa hiyo bag, na ako amevaa nguo. Vile ningetaka kuomba wazazi wetu, mtoto akitoroka kwa boma ama unaona amechelewa, ni kazi yako uende uripoti, upeane hiyo report kwa polisi ili ajulikane mahali alipo.
According to Murang'a South Sub-County Deputy Police Commander Isaiah Mose, unexplainable blood stains on her father's trousers prompted detectives to arrest him for further interrogation. Really unfortunate turn of events there in Murang'a County. Now, let me take you to Kisumu, where the governor, Professor Anyang' Nyong'o, is now calling on President Uhuru Kenyatta not to assent to the National Hospital Insurance Fund bill as it is currently, saying there is still more clauses that should be added to the bill to equip it for posterity. Nyong'o says the bill should include the establishment of a professional funds management institution to oversee the colossal amount of money to be handled by NHIF, among other proposals. Weekly for Cage with that report.
The NHIF amendment bill has been passed by both the National Assembly and the Senate and is only waiting for President Uhuru Kenyatta's signature to take effect. However, Kisumu Governor Professor Anyang' Nyong'o, who is also the COG chair for the Health Committee, is urging the head of state to send the bill back to Parliament for a review and strengthening for posterity. Governor Nyong'o is proposing the establishment of a professional funds management institution to take care of the colossal amount of money to be generated as a result of the proposal by the National Assembly to have every Kenyan aged 18 years and above contribute to the kitty.
Our recommendation is that Kenya needs to establish an insurance bank to manage NHIF funds. This must be created by further amendment of the current NHIF bill, amending the 1998 Act.
The governor is also proposing the establishment of a full directorate within the Ministry of Health, headed by a director that is mandated to undertake quality assurance to ensure value for money in the rollout of universal health coverage.
Quality assurance and supervision functions should remain central to the successful implementation of the UHC. An independent quality assurance department is needed to oversee this function. Already, the Ministry of Health has established the Kenya Health Professionals Oversight Authority, which could be further funded and supported to undertake these functions.
Governor Nyong'o also says the NHIF fund should be structured to undertake infrastructural development in both public and private health institutions to improve quality of healthcare delivery.
The NHIF funds should contribute to development of the private sector in a strategic way. Funds can be made available at low interest loans to the private sector. In return, NHIF, the Ministry of Health and the county government should demand accountability and responsibility from the private sector.
For Sunday Express, I am Wycliffe Okech.
Now, ever thought of making merry in January? I know, but as many Kenyans decry empty pockets after the back-to-school period, some had saved up something to keep them afloat and to make merry. Sunday afternoon at the Gravity Amusement Park along Eastern Bypass, from young to old, they had something to amuse them. According to Duncan Mwebia, an entrepreneur at the park, the coronavirus pandemic had affected many businesses, with some closing shop. The park now offers space exploration exploration thrill with zero gravity, with Kenyans who boarded the Graviton amusement saying they had never had such an experience.
I was feeling I was in space. I was just upside down.
Nimepata ni kupoa sana na kuna moment unajipata umestick huko ndani, unaweza fanya any movement na iko very comfortable. So nimejibamba sana.
Nimesikia ni kama I'm stuck on air. Like I can move, I can do anything.
Amusement park, including the restaurant, is an open area, and we have seen that has helped us to get a lot of clients. We also have unique amusement machines, and one of them is the Gravitron machine, which is apparently is the only one, the first one in Africa, and it's a special machine that rotates at a very high speed and creates zero gravity for the riders. My advice to other business people who are having difficult times is to be a bit more creative and to change with the current times.
Some call it in January, but like you see, it's not for everyone. It's good for others, as is evident in that story that was produced by our very own Ruth Wamboi. Now, moving on to the COVID-19 situation in the country, the coronavirus positivity rate Sunday dropped to 13.9% after 741 people tested positive from 5,329 samples tested in the last 24 hours. According to the Ministry of Health, the total confirmed positive cases now stand at 311,538 from the over 3 million cumulative tests conducted so far. Over the same period, 9 deaths were reported, all of them reported after conducting facility audits in the last 1 week. A total of fatalities since the pandemic struck stands at 5,446. According to data from Johns Hopkins University, over 305 million COVID-19 infections have been confirmed globally, with over 5.5 million deaths reported so far. Now, let me take you to the counties. Residents living at Mailand Estate along Machakos-Nairobi border are crying foul over environmental hazards brought about by illegal quarry activities in the area. Elsewhere in Busia County, at least 33 youths in Butula constituency have benefited from free driving school lessons. Details of this and more making headlines in the counties.
Locals of my land estate in Kamulu are up in arms with the ongoing illegal quarry activities in their midst by a private owner. The locals claim the dust from the quarry has exposed them to health problems.
Ukinyesha, wakaaji wenyewe hawezi fika maboma zao. Magari ndogo hawezi pitia mahali lori kubwa imekanyaga ikasink kwa sababu hii area ni black cotton.
The dust which has been chronic to our children, to ourselves. We started wearing masks long before it was implemented by the government and COVID things. So we kindly ask for this issue to be addressed urgently.
1.5 Elsewhere in Busia County, at least 33 youth in Butula constituency have benefited from free driving school lessons. This is in adherence to government's 3 months ultimatum for operators to ensure that they are registered with the National Transport and Safety Authority NTSA.
Serikali imeshaweka mikakati ya kwamba miezi 3 ijayo ni lazima kila dereva awe wa pikipiki ama wa gari lazima awe na driving license. Na hiyo itatusaidia katika kupunguza ajali ambazo huwa zinajitokeza za barabarani azazo tunaweza epuka.
Meanwhile, in Kitengela, Kajiado County, stakeholders in the transport sector have raised concerns over vaccine apathy among bodaboda operators in the region.
Sisi kama wana bodaboda tunapatana na watu tofauti tofauti, wanatoka area tofauti,
Kwa hivyo tunakuwa katika hatari ya kuambukizwa corona kwa dakika yote. Bodaboda ndio maisha yao, ndio biashara yao ya kila siku. Wahakikisha ya kwamba kwa sababu hawataki walazwe kwa hospitali kwa sababu ya ugonjwa, ndio familia yao wasikuja kuumia kwa sababu the breadwinner amepata ugonjwa. Inatakikana ya kwamba waende wapate chanjo, wachajwe ili ya kwamba kuwa na uhakika ya kwamba hata akipata ugonjwa haitamuumiza zaidi.
And finally, in Meru County, 96 youth from the region will get scholarship from government and other development partners to join technical and vocational educational training TVETs institutions.
Nimefurahia sana kwa siku ya leo. Nimefurahia kwa nafasi ambayo nimepewa ya kuweza kuendelea na masomo yangu.
Together with other stakeholders, we came together, got into a partnership whereby we do the recruitment and a bit of sponsorship for the students so that they can enroll into technical colleges, and that's what has happened. This is the first cohort. There's going to be another cohort in May and going forward. I think we're trying to enrich our generation with a good and quality education so that they can also remain competitive in the future.
My challenge is to the other local leaders, please, you can't miss something to do to elevate the living standards of these young people.
All right, and that report coming to us from across the county is now taking us to the second break right here on Sunday Express. Please stay with us. When we come back, still more lined up ahead for you, including the latest in the world of sports.
All of our creditors came around, but we couldn't pay them all, so they just robbed us.
Today I'm going to teach you about generosity.
And the way you do that is by taking my money from me?
How will you get the money to pay off your house?
How are you ever going to win your wife back?
I want to protect those I hold dear. I want to help the folks here, but I can do nothing.
This house doesn't belong to you. If you want to live here, pay up. If you won't pay, then get lost, don't come back. I don't need a useless son like you.
有一段故事建筑一座城堡，会放进去后。
Another machine, swipe my card. Kama hiyo machine imezeka, get another one. Hatuwezi lala njaa. Palipo na nyota, watu hawezi kulala njaa.
We are not broke.
So nini mbaya? Mbona hatuna pesa?
Utaingia na wapi? Labda tumia mazingaombwe.
Na ukiamka utafurahi sana mwanangu. Njoo Ndibili, njoo Ndibili.
Now, on to the sports news. Kenyans Nora Ruto and Daniel Simiu are winners of this year's Valencia 10-kilometer World Athletics Label Road Race that was held Sunday afternoon. Ruto timed 30 minutes 35 seconds, while Simiu clocked 26 minutes 57 seconds.
As Nora Ruto and Gladys Jepkurui, accompanied by Norwegian Caroline Grovnal and Swedish runner Meiraf Bata, broke away from the field from the very start. Ruto won the race in 30 minutes 35 seconds, followed by Norwegian Caroline Grovnal in 30 minutes 38 seconds. Another Kenyan, Gladys Jepkurui, finished third in 30 minutes 48 seconds. The men's race was won by Kenyan Daniel Simiyu, who clocked 26 minutes 57 seconds. He was followed by Ethiopia's Simdesa Debele in 27 minutes 10 seconds, while Kenyan Jacob Krop finished that in 27 minutes 23 seconds. Frederick Muki for Sunday Express.
All right, Kenya will be hosting the 2023 Air Weapon Championship after adopting the use of electronic targets equipment that was donated by the International Sports Shooting Federation, ISSF. This is according to Kenya Sports Shooting Federation Secretary General Gurupreet Dhanjal, who said Kenyan shooters are ready for the new season as they prepare for the World Championship that will be held in Egypt on the 26th of next month.
The Kenya Sports Shooting Federation received electronic targets from the international body ISSF as part of the federation's move geared towards promoting the sport and uplifting its standards in the sub-Saharan Africa.
With this initiative, which has taken almost 3-4 years in the making, but now that it's finally been fulfilled, we as KSSF believe that for us to be able to compete at the level that we need to be, this equipment was essential. Now that we have it, the onus is on us to develop and come up with those programs, those youth development programs that will now show the fruits for this labor.
The donation came at the ripe time for Kenya as the country will be hosting the Africa Practical Shooting Championship in June this year.
I know it will be a very exciting season because we haven't competed locally in a long while, and I also do expect some upsets coming up because quite a number of people are warming up, such as myself, and we do expect that as the season progresses, people will get more accustomed to the electronic targets, get back to the groove of training and competitions.
We'd also be having some other World Championships in October. So we are hoping to have good competitors. Actually, there are some standards to be met, like MQS, that is a minimum qualification score. With the new developments, I believe we are going to get into that.
The Kenyan Federation will now bid for the hosting rights of the 2023 Air Weapon Championship after adopting the use of electronic targets equipment. Meanwhile, the Federation has released its calendar of events for the season, with the main focus being the World Cup, which will be held in Egypt on 22nd of next month. Frederick Muki for Sunday Express.
All right, thank you, Moki, for that report. Now, Vihiga Bullets recorded their first win of the 2021-2022 Kenya Premier League season after beating Wazito 4-2 in one of the 5 matches played today across the country. The bottom-placed side came from a goal down to lead 2-1 at halftime before netting 2 other goals in the second half to collect their first maximum points of the season. AFC Leopards came from a goal down to draw 1-1 with Zoya Sugar at Nyayo National Stadium, while Tusker FC were the biggest losers of the day, going down by a solitary goal to Posta Rangers. Gor Mahia recorded their 6th win of the season by beating Mathare United 1-0, while 10-man KCB also lost to Bidco United by a solitary goal. Now on to news that many of you are waiting for. Host Cameroon will kickstart the Africa Cup of Nations today against Burkina Faso at the Omnisport Paul Biya Stadium as the postponed continental event finally begins in Cameroon. The tournament was originally scheduled to be played in June and July 2021, but CAF moved the event to January and February 2021 due to unfavorable climatic conditions during that period. On 30th of June 2020, CAF moved the tournament for the second time to January 2022 following the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic across the continent.
Delivery, there's the header off the line. The lines. Burkina Faso wake up. Oh, 1-0! Oh! goes on. Challenge. Lisa taken out. Ubaka. Ouma. No doubt. Well done. Gets behind his defender. And he points again to the penalty spot. Go for that spot. He puts it to the other side. Genius. Once again, stop-start is clumsy.
All right, and just to update you on that particular match, host Cameroon came from behind to beat Burkina Faso 2-1 in an incident-packed opening game at the Africa Cup of Nations. Gutsavo Singare put Burkinabe ahead midway through the first half in Yaoundé, but two well-taken penalties from Captain Vincent Abubakar turned the game around for the hosts before halftime. Ethiopia faced Cape Verde in the second game of day one. Now, let's move on to other sports news. Luton Town welcomed club legend Mick Harford back to the dugout for the first time after cancer treatment, with victory over League Two side Harrogate Town to reach the FA Cup fourth round. Elijah Adebayo's low drive on the turn from Cameroon, Jerome's flick-on gave the hitters the edge at the break. Jerome doubled the lead with a second half tap-in before Carl Naismith cutely dinked in a bird over Mark Oxley. Luke Berry emphatically hammered the late fourth to finally quell Harrogate. All right, and on that sporty note, that's how we wrap it up on this second Sunday of the first month, the year 2022. Thank you so much for those who created time to tune in tonight. We really appreciate your company. My name is Serfine Achieng Ouma. I've been doing this together with Byron Abuli, my sign language interpreter. Have a good night and God bless.